You know, Bomb, I gotta say, you've been showing a lot of restraint lately. I can't even remember the last time you mentioned Metroid. Oh! Oh! Oid! Say it! Oid! Metroid! And so Yoshio Sakamoto speaketh on the 19th day of the 3rd month of 1994. Blessings shall rain down upon thine Super Nintendo, and sweepeth thou off thine feet into blissful— Okay, we get it! I'll review Super Metroid. Yeah! I cannot possibly overstate the tremendous improvement over the previous games made in Super Metroid. With a much needed upgrade in diagonal aiming and crouching, amazing new power-ups for overworld traversal and combat, alongside an enormously large, intertwined, colorful map, and a bunch of amazing, new, memorable, colorful boss fights. Whoa, slow down. Now, I agree that the first two Metroid games had a lot of room for improvement, but let's not jump to conclusions with this one either. I will proudly stand by saying that this game is the definitive 2D Metroid experience. I know I'm clearly biased by this franchise, but you're the critical gamer. I dare you to find some problems with this game. You're on. First you praise the controls, but honestly I found them a little wonky, what with the intermittent wall jumping and cycling weapon select system. To be fair, this controller itself is pretty darn wonky by today's standards, so if anything, you should be praising its inventiveness for making it all work without forcing you to keep pausing to switch weapons like in most games. And oh, I'm so sorry for leaving out that this game also added the wall kick among several other unique mechanics like the Shine Spark and Crystal Flash for crafty players to discover. Well, what about the map? I mean, it's easy to get lost in the various winding, interconnected passageways and traps. Meridia is particularly confusing. Might I remind you that you actually have a map this time? Also, each new environment is visually unique and sized just right to help you remember where you are. This even allowed them to add things like tricks, traps, and other secret passageways in the various locales. But if you honestly get lost, even with the new map, it's your own fault. There are even map stations hidden across the game helping you complete your map as you go. Well, the combat could definitely be improved with a remake like Samus Returns, yes, but that's not fair to throw the SNES under the bus of modern hardware and control schemes. But the bosses are outstanding. Each one is so unique and creative, forcing the player to learn their moves and weaknesses to survive. And it's not all the simple shoot it till it dies trope either. Crocomire must be pushed back into the lava before he crushes you against the spikes behind you. Dragon can be killed by craftily using your grapple beam to send an electric charge through your own body to fry the big guy. But backtracking and finding all those pickups has never been easier. What with the new amazing X-ray scope allowing you to see through secrets hidden in the terrain, the map itself showing you icons of pickups with its own fair share of hidden rooms, making the joy of exploration and accumulating power better than ever. And the difficulty feels perfect now, with fair respawning HP amounts as well as frequent save and heal stations hidden throughout the map, with several generously placed right before bosses and tough challenges. Don't ever say perfect! There's gotta be something wrong with this game! Admit it, there's gotta be something wrong with you! This game looks gorgeous, with fluid sprite animations, vibrant environments, and creature design matching the dark alien horror aesthetic. I will say that if the Super Nintendo could have done Metroid any better, I don't really see how. The cutscenes and interwoven cinematics are absolutely stunning. I particularly love the way these moments are woven into the organic horror narrative, where even scripted sequences like when you're attacked by the giant Metroid feel real and terrifying. I really appreciate how the map design references the original Zebes from Metroid 1 just enough for the nostalgia to kick in, but changes it all up just enough to keep the gameplay fresh. The cover and promotional art is also pretty darn great. Wait, hold on. You remember this is the part where you're supposed to be complaining about something insignificant, right? You really are killing me today. Speaking of dying, when Samus dies, her suit breaks apart like usual, but now you can actually see her get exposed to the dangerous environment, unprotected, and die screaming. Yikes. Though it's skimpy, at least she's wearing something underneath her suit. In the Japanese version, they actually considered making her completely nude instead. Oh, Japan. I really don't like how this monumental female gaming icon gets criminally sexualized, kinda ruining everything she stood for to begin with. It would be cool though if they used the suit-shattering animation to reveal which ending path you're currently headed toward by showing which outfit Samus is wearing during this short death scene. You would know based on death whether you're taking too long to beat the game or not. Good thing she's at least wearing something, I guess. I can't believe Japan wanted to compromise this character's integrity just for some 18-bit boobies. My favorite movie is Alien, from which Metroid is not so subtly inspired. It's an atmospheric, dark sci-fi horror that does a great job at building suspense, isolation, and dread, perfectly fitting the Metroid atmospheric, subtle storytelling. It's a bleak, dark, and very alien experience to play, and the storytelling itself is organic enough to help fully immerse you into the game. Though Metroid is mostly about how it's told and not so much what happens, so we don't really. So after Metroid 2, of course we're doing this, Samus returns the last living Metroid to the Galactic Federation, who aims to study the life-sucking parasite for the good of the galaxy. But soon after her departure, the station is attacked by Ridley, who slaughters the researchers and takes the Metroid back to the space pirate homeworld planet Zebes from Metroid 1. The game's prologue is creepy and foreboding, with implied storytelling as you enter the destroyed station after the attack, complete with a boss encounter with Ridley before he ultimately escapes. So Samus chases Ridley to Zebes and descends back into the destroyed space pirate facilities from her battles in the first game, and through various biomes and treacherous, winding, interconnected tunnels aiming to reclaim the infant Metroid from Ridley. The mysterious world and lore of the game only gets amplified when you pay attention to the decrepit environments and crumbling Chozo ruins. Really take your time experiencing the world, because most of the story is what you discover on your solitary journey. So after several deadly boss encounters dealing with the ferocious wildlife, Samus finds remnants of surviving space pirates, their own knockoff Mocktroid bioweapons, and traces of the last infant Metroid, consuming and growing at an unprecedented rate, possibly due to it originating from SR-388 and not Zebes. You reach a desolate room, completely sucked dry of all life before getting ambushed by the now enormous last Metroid as it latches on your head and sucks away your energy. There is absolutely nothing you can do to save yourself as you helplessly struggle, but before killing her completely, it seems to recognize Samus as its mother, and feeling ashamed, it zooms away after leaving you on your last leg, but still alive. This silent, unprovoked, and terrifying moment is a perfect example of how this game tells its narrative. So Samus hunts down and kills Ridley, for good this time, and discovers a hidden slew of real Metroids, all protecting the resurrected Mother Brain, for an absolutely insane final boss, which is probably the coolest video game boss fight in history. So this game totally fakes you out with a traditional Mother Brain boss fight before she collapses through the floor and transforms into a grotesque monstrosity. Now the real battle begins. Mother Brain is impossible to kill on your own, so instead you need to get her desperate enough to resort to using her Hyper Beam, which nearly obliterates you. If you survive the tragically one-sided onslaught long enough, you're saved by the sudden appearance of the baby Metroid, which violently attacks Mother Brain. It sucks away its power and tries to transfer it all to the dying Samus in a rare moment of alien symbiotic remorse. As this is happening, you see the dried out shell of Mother Brain recovering slowly and begin to attack the baby. It's absolutely terrifying, and you're completely helpless to stop it as you're being saved by the baby Metroid, risking its life to save you. Mother Brain soon recovers and completely obliterates the last Metroid over Samus's head, but not before it transferred the devastating Hyper Beam to Samus, which she promptly uses to lay waste to the giant resurrected cybernetic brain and destroy the entire facility in a traditional escape rush sequence to flee the planet before the entire thing detonates. Though sadly, the last Metroid was killed in the process, Samus's mission was technically a success. What makes this story so amazing is that it's practically wordless. Samus's journey and struggles were all your own, as things weren't told to you, but actually happened to you. Oh yeah, and if you didn't save the Dakora and Edacoons before the planet explodes, you're a heartless monster. You make me sick. Once again, the soundtrack diverts from the norm and attempts to create tracks of alien atmospheric sounds to help fit the world and tone. I mean, think about it. How is this game supposed to make you feel immersed, alone, and afraid if it's playing catchy 16-bit tunes? But some tracks are still pretty jammin'. You know, I always liked how the sound effects all sounded kind of muffled, like it was an atmospheric space effect. Or the Super Nintendo coughing and wheezing. Oh, shut up. The Super Nintendo sounds great. There's even a vocal track in the introduction that sounds surprisingly clear for its time.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
This solitary game is the king of all Metroidvanias. Play it. This is one of those rare historic video games that actually holds up to modern criticisms. And believe me, I tried. This is easily one of the best games on the Super Nintendo. In this day and age, getting a chance to try it out on modern consoles has made it easier than ever to pick up and play. It's beautiful! The positive gamer in me, now brace yourself now, adores Super Metroid to no end, awarding it with a glorious 10 out of 10. The atmosphere, the stunning visuals, the creature designs, the mastercrafted storytelling, it's all outstanding and undoubtedly deserving of all the praise and notoriety it has accumulated even after all this time in what may be the definitive 2D Metroid game. The critical gamer in me tried so hard to disagree, to find something, anything wrong with Super Metroid, but in the end recognized the outstanding achievements in Super Metroid, awarding it with the coveted second 10 out of 10. This was a hard decision to make without sounding biased, but after coming to this conclusion that this is without a doubt one of the greatest games ever made, ranking it any lower would be falsely diminishing this otherwise faultless title. I knew you'd come around, you old stick in the mud. I guess if you don't think that this historic work of art is worth its overwhelming praise, then you're just playing with yourself. Hi, I'm just playing with my toys. Do you have an idea for a new episode of Playing With Myself? Join the discussion over on Discord using the new Patreon perks to nominate and vote for future episodes. Patreon members also get first picks, so check out the links in the description for more information. As always, thank you to our amazing Patreon members, Atomic Thomas, Cameron, Arrow, Kai, Ben, Rowan, Erica, Squad Fam, Sid, and Denny. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.